In this video, I'll talk about lack of standardization in requests for bids and how creating a standard process for repair requests can help you get clear, easy to understand bids, just like a well-made pizza delivered on time. If you're new to my channel, my name is Rodivia Brigham, and I'm the CEO and founder of Proposabid, a service provider specializing in sourcing 4 or more competitive apples-to-apples bids and estimations for property repairs. In our last video, we talked about why you need an RFP and so, if you have one, because using both helps vendors understand what's needed. Now let's look at another big problem, the lack of standardized ways to ask for bids. Think about pizza delivery. It works so well because it's standardized. Every pizza has a set recipe, a cooking time, and delivery steps, so you know what to expect each time. With property repairs, having a clear and standard way to ask for bids, just like a pizza order, makes everything easier. For these objectives, we will talk about how having a clear and organized way to ask for project bids helps avoid confusion and keeps everyone on the same page. When we ask for project bids in a clear and simple way, it helps everyone understand what's needed. If we use the same format every time, it's easier to compare the bids and pick the best one quickly. This means that the project can start sooner. Also, when we share all the important details about what we need up front, the people making the bids can do a better job planning, and so their offers are just right for what we need. Making things clear and organized helps everyone work together better and get the job done right. Now, before we get started, I like to go over some numbers to highlight the problems. A study by the Responsive shows that when people review project proposals, 35% of the time they don't agree on the scores. This happens because the questions and the answers in the proposals can be hard to understand if they're not written in the same way every time. When things aren't clear, people get confused and might make mistakes. But if everyone uses the same format for an RFP, it's easier to understand and make better choices. This is why the answers from vendors are more accurate and projects can start on time without delays. What happens if people don't agree on what a project needs or how to score the proposal? How can using the same format for RFPs help projects get started faster? We'll explore these all in the next few slides. And here are some frequently asked questions. So, as you can see, standardizing is really important because it makes the bidding process clear and fair. Standardization also helps vendors understand exactly what is needed so they can provide better bids that match the project's requirements. A standardized RFP should include important information like the goals of the project, the timeline, specific tasks, and any rules or requirements. When everybody uses the same format, it's easier to compare bids, make decisions faster, and reduce delays. This way, projects can start sooner and everyone is on the same page from the beginning. So let's take a look at where the standardization of RFPs come into play in the entire bidding process. It starts with sending out requests through phone calls or emails and waiting for responses. Without a standardized RFP format, the incoming bids might all look different, making it hard to compare them side by side. Staff then has to spend extra time figuring out if the bids match the project needs or asking vendors for corrections. This can lead to delays and confusion. With standardized RFPs, everything is clear from the beginning. Vendors know exactly what's expected, making their bids easier to review and compare. This not only saves time, but also helps staff approve and award the best bids more efficiently, keeping the entire process smooth and organized. So why standardizing RFP matters? Let's break each one of these down. It helps to avoid confusion. Without a set format, bids can be all over the place. each one looking different depending on who sent it. This lack of consistency makes it harder for vendors to understand exactly what's being asked for. When vendors aren't sure, it leads to more questions, delays, or even incorrect bids. By having a standardized format, everyone gets on the same page from the start, reducing misunderstandings and saving time for both vendors and property managers. Then there's the lack of detail that can lead to mismatched bids. When RFPs don't include enough details about the project, vendors are left to guess or make assumptions. This often leads to bids that don't match the actual needs of the project, causing frustration and extra work. A detailed, standardized RFP ensures vendors know exactly what's required, helping them create accurate proposals and reducing the chance of mismatched bids. Inconsistent bids slow down comparisons. If each bid comes in a different format or includes varying levels of information, it becomes difficult for property managers to compare them. This inconsistency means more time is spent organizing, reviewing, and clarifying, which slows down the selection process. A standardized bid format eliminates this problem by making it easier to line up bids side by side and choose the best ones quickly. Then there's staff turnover that can disrupt bid requests. When staffs with specialized knowledge about requesting bids leave, they often take important processes and details with them. Investors and property managers are left scrambling to figure out what's needed or even starting over from scratch. Standardizing the bid request process helps ensure that the knowledge stays within the organization, making it easier for new staff to pick up where others left off without missing a beat. And standardization solves these problems. By setting a standard format for RFP requests, property managers and investors can tackle all of these issues. Vendors can clearly understand what's needed, reducing confusion and mismatched bids. The process of comparing bids becomes faster and easier because all proposals follow the same structure. Even if key staff leaves, the standardized system ensures continuity, keeping projects on track. Standardization simplifies the entire bidding process and ensures it runs smoothly no matter the challenges. Now let's go over why clear, standardized RFPs make a difference. There's unclear directions, there's extra follow-up times, different understandings of the project, hard to plan costs and resources, and then there's strained relationships. Let's take a look at each one. Unclear directions. When RFPs are unclear, vendors may not understand exactly what the investor or property manager is looking for. This confusion can lead to bids that don't match the project needs, causing delays and frustrations for everyone involved. Clear, detailed directions in a standardized format ensures vendors know what's expected right from the start. When RFPs are unclear or missing information, vendors often have to reach out with follow-up questions. This back and forth slows down the entire process and pushes the project timeline further out. A clear and consistent RFP request format reduces the need for extra follow-ups, saving time for both vendors and property managers and investors. Without a standardized way to ask for bids, vendors might interpret the project differently. One vendor might focus on one aspect of the work while another might prioritize something completely different. This misalignment can result in bids that don't meet expectations and are hard to compare. When vendors don't have clear instructions, they struggle to set accurate prices or properly plan their resources. This can lead to unexpected costs and scheduling problems later on. A detailed, standardized request gives vendors the information they need to budget and plan with confidence. And all of this leads to strained relationships. When RFPs are unclear, miscommunication between vendors and the property owners is more likely to happen. This can lead to misunderstandings, missed deadlines, frustration, which can all harm trust and damage working relationships. Clear and consistent requests helps build stronger relationships by fostering transparency and trust throughout the process. So, back to the pizza. If you don't clearly tell the pizza shop what toppings you want, what size, or where to deliver it, there's a good chance your order will be wrong, late, or never even make it to your front door. As we've seen, the bidding process can face many challenges. Unclear directions, extra follow-ups, different understandings, and difficulty planning for costs. But these issues don't have to slow us down. By standardizing the way we request bids through RFPs, we can solve these problems. Clear and consistent RFPs help vendors know exactly what's needed, reduces the back and forth questions, and make it easier to compare bids. They also ensure accurate pricing and smooth project planning. Most importantly, standardization builds trust and keeps the entire process running efficiently, even when things change. Together, by adopting these best practices, you can save time, improve communication, and achieve better results for every project. If you enjoyed this video, then check out the next one, where I break down limited vendor reach and its consequences. We'll look at how having a smaller pool of vendors or the wrong pool of vendors can impact repair quality, costs, and competition. And don't forget to scan the QR code for your free strategy call to explore how you can prevent losses, save millions, and focus on what matters most. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.